If I had a downfall characteristic in life, it would be that I'm extremely nice. This is a problem because a lot of men take it as flirting just because you're not rude to them. I was 18 working at a gas station. It was right off the highway and so we got a lot of business. Anyways, this older man, I'd say early 50s, was a regular. He'd come in and get a drink and smoke and talk to me. Being the nice person I am, I would carry on a discussion with him. One day this led to him and I finding out that we knew a mutual friend. Well, a little while down the road, I quit that job. I had no kids at the time and was just working to make some money for myself, so it wasn't a big deal. Well, about a year later, I ran into this man with my boyfriend. We exchanged hellos and then he stood there smiling at me. Since it was awkward, my boyfriend and I left quickly. I started seeing him more and more places I would go. It got to where he would ask me extremely personal questions, like where I worked, where I was living, which I refused to answer. So one day we ran into him at Walmart, exchanged awkward hellos, and went on our way. I get to the register and the cashier leans into me and whispers, "Do you know that man?" and points behind me, where the dude was standing by the produce, staring at me. I say, "Oh, just in passing," she says. "He's been staring at you for like the last 10 minutes. That's when I really began to worry. A while later I was pregnant, and then about 7 months later, my best friend and I stopped at to stop at a pizza shop to eat lunch. We were talking when she stares behind me like something's wrong. It was him. He points a finger at me and smiles. "Don't I know you?" I politely said, "Yes, sir. I worked at the gas station." I was trying to be nice, but hoping he still got my point. While he goes and gets his food and my bestie says, "Do you know him?" He stood there staring at me forever before he said anything. I told her the story and she was worried. He gets his food and sits in the booth right next to us, across the aisle. My friend and I were just discussing a devastating natural disaster that affected people we knew, and he interrupts and asks us where I work. I ignore his question and I continue talking. Again, he asks, "Nowhere," I replied, unable to hide the aggravation in my tone. She told me later that he kept on looking over at me. Well, I get up to get her daughter some ice cream and he followed. We rushed back to our table, shaking from the fear he was instilling in me. He finishes his food, gets up to leave, and walks to the sticker machines by the door. Before he pushes the door open, he slowly turns to stare at me again. I'm almost in tears from how uncomfortable he's making me. That is the last time I saw him. Part of me wonders if he wasn't truly stalking me, or those were just the times I noticed. Another part of me, the nice, sees good in everyone part of me, thinks I was just being silly, and maybe he was just lonely and looking for a friend. Either way, he made me super uncomfortable. I have moved from that town, although I do go back occasionally. Creepy stalker guy, let's not meet again.